How do you explain the spirit within every person? Where did it come from if there is no God? Gosh, that's actually a pretty easy question because I don't think there is a spirit within every person. So it's really no more complicated than that. I think we are a combination of physics and, well, it's basically is physics. We are physics and chemistry that happen to exist in a pattern that has become self-aware. And I do believe that consciousness, at least nobody knows for sure, but I'm on the side that if I had to sort of throw out a random bet, that consciousness is just, the mind is what the brain does, that it's not some separate thing. I don't believe in a spirit. I don't believe in a soul. I don't believe in a separate consciousness. As to where it comes from, that would have to be it. It's just an emergent property of the brain functioning. But again, that's mind, not spirit. Because spirit to me implies that it exists in some other realm. It connects to a body. It can go on with afterlife. It can reincarnate, or some of those other concepts. Rollo, if you really believe that he doesn't exist, we wouldn't be having this debate. That honestly just does not make sense to me. I don't believe a God exists based on the lack of evidence. I have no reason to believe it, insufficient reason to believe it. That's it. I have insufficient reasons to believe in, let's see, I usually say unicorns and leprechauns. What else can I pull out? Dragons? So, it doesn't mean he would exist. Jacob's Ladder, 777. Name a fictional character that causes harm to people. That is an interesting phrasing of a question. Of course, a fictional character can't do anything. However, people believing in fictional characters can do a lot of harm. So anybody who ever did harm to another in the name of either protecting any fictional deity or frankly any corporation or anything like that, where you're protecting or call through, you're protecting the organization rather than the person. In those cases, the character would be like the entity of the corporation, which isn't a real person. So it's essentially a fictional character. Mark Allen, what came before the Big Bang? We do not know. There is the hypothesis that it is cyclical. It is just one of many hypotheses. It's just, unfortunately, we're living in 2024, and that is something we do not have an answer for. And the next one, so what happens after the universe ends? The current, I believe there is consensus on this, is that the universe will continue to expand. It's expanding more and more rapidly, and it will end up in a heat death. The suns will burn out eventually, and then that's kind of like the first burnout, slow burnout phase. Trillions and trillions and trillions of years later, things like protons will actually decay, and then the last thing to go will be black holes, which dissipate by Hawking radiation, and then at that point there's nothing left, and that's the negative entropy point. So either that condition stays forever, or if you go with Penrose's hypothesis, then that's the identical condition to a singularity, and essentially it pops again. You have to lose the concept of small versus large scale, but they're identical in entropy, so it just bangs again at that point. I don't think we're going to get it to the point of consensus in our lifetime.